Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Really humbled to see how far we have come since 2017 with creating DirectConnectMKE. And our vision at the time, when David Douglas from Yolobi so graciously agreed to fund this project and contract with the city to make it happen, our vision was to really create what is called a digitized workforce pipeline. And most of you, of course, are in workforce development, so you understand what that means. But I would just like to go over what that definition really means in terms of how it works on the ground and how we are translating that to become something that's also available on the digital platform. Given the serious challenges we have had with the pandemic, the ability for us to be able to work from a digital perspective has become of vital importance. It's become a vital infrastructure. So it will be important for us to begin to normalize the use of digital platforms from here on. So without much ado, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about what a digitized workforce pipeline looks like. But I will begin with defining it from the perspective of what we know as workforce development providers. For those of us who've been in this business for many years, you will realize that what I'm talking about is something you're already familiar with. So what is a workforce pipeline? So a workforce pipeline is a high-performing collaboration of partners sharing a common vision for change. So this collaboration of partners is comprised of workforce agencies, employers, community-based organizations, and residents who understand that business as usual hasn't worked and who would like to join together to develop new approaches. And so that is exactly what we have done with creating DCMKE. As Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, very wisely, he said that whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly, and that one can never be what they ought to be until you also become what you ought to be. So we are really interrelated in structure and in terms of what needs to happen to make a community succeed. So the idea of a digitized workforce pipeline really ensures that we can all meet in one space, in one digital space, and share ideas, share challenges even, and also share information in a secure manner that enhances the services that we provide to the residents that we serve. So pipelines are usually sparked by a shared vision, therefore, to economically revitalize low-income areas. And what really drives that revitalization of what we now call under-resourced areas is using large employment gains as a driver. So we know that there's a high concentration of several clusters of employers in Milwaukee City. And as you know, of course, they come from manufacturing, construction, health, transportation, logistics, and I know I'm missing a couple of others. But that high concentration of employers means that they're looking for skilled labor. And being able to work together as a collaborative, a high-performing collaborative of CBOs, employment service agencies, and the residents, we can be able to fulfill that labor demand and fulfill it through that pipeline, ensuring that there's the referral process takes place in a manner that intake, assessment, and placement for job training and eventual permanent placement actually happens in a sequential and smooth and non-siloed manner. So pipelines provide demonstrable benefits, including building new program capacity and quality, because now we all work in an environment where there's shared capacity, establishing those economies of scale. Other benefits include access to populations providers usually can't reach easily. And DCMKE has actually proven that we can reach the grassroots places where it's really, really difficult for people to know that we even exist as providers. So the ability to access our profiles in the palm of their hands, in the privacy of their homes, in a secure manner, is a tremendous benefit indeed. Another benefit is, being able to have a reliable source of well-prepared employees. So we together as employment service providers can rely on one another to find, to create a referral process that allows us to say, oh, wait, I need a machinist, Bernadette. Maybe do you have somebody who's qualified for that position or who's willing to be trained to become a machinist? And so we have a space where we can use SMS as a digital platform where we can easily share information reliably and quickly. Another benefit is enhanced ability to meet contractual commitments. We know that we all have numbers to meet because our public funders require us to do that. And having one additional tool in the whole gamut of the tools that we already have that enhances our ability to meet those numbers is, of course, a benefit. And then, of course, there's access to new funding. At the Office of Workforce Development at the Common Council, we are working diligently to see how best we can seek funding to create capacity for the DirectConnectMKE and make it become a household name in a manner that we too can have, administrators who are super active be funded to provide the capacity that they need. So that sounds like a pipeline dream right now, but in actual fact, it will become a reality, and I'm believing that it will sooner than later. So when you think of a workforce pipeline in the manner in which I have defined it, then you can also then adapt to the idea of a digitized workforce pipeline, which is what now Direct Connect is becoming. And in that respect, we can now focus on specific neighborhoods, especially those are most under-resourced. We do know from our Legislative Research Bureau findings that 10 of our 15 aldermanic districts have unemployment rates of 10% and above pre-pandemic. And so it's important for us to be able to, focus on those specific neighborhoods, let them know that we actually exist, and this platform is a sure way of helping them know that we are here. It also becomes a multiple access point for customized service. And as service providers, we can begin to work in new and different ways, in manners in which that we can reach each other easily. And we are able to assemble one another as partners and eliminate those silos that sometimes create a barrier for the very people that we are serving, because they have to go to 16 different other places to just receive the services that they need, when in fact they should be able to meet in one space. Physically, that's what the American Job Centers are required to do. But it wouldn't hurt to have a digitized space where they can actually gain access to those AJCs. Transparency is created in that kind of manner through a collaborative workforce pipeline, and we are better able to respond to employer needs and wants. And we can also have data that allow us to track what our quality looks like, improving our quality and identifying the gaps. So I won't belabor you with too much, that we will be able, through this presentation, share with you what we've been able to upgrade in terms of our app, our web page, and how much smarter and how better looking the platform will individually look like eventually. And so I'm pleased to say that, we are actually now working on really developing it to a point where it becomes a fully fledged digitized workforce pipeline. We're not there yet, but we will get there by the end of the second quarter. And we will be able to make referrals in the platform with all our 55 networks. We will directly message and connect with members from the admin council. And we'll be able to onboard employers now. I'm happy to say that Harley Davidson is one of our employers who have joined us, and also Stainless Foundry and a couple others who have joined us already. And we become a resource hub where, you now have well over 200 profiles of supportive service agencies on this platform that our job seekers have access to in the palm of their hands. So enough said from me. I'm really glad that I'm here and that I've been able to share with you a little bit about what we are looking to really visualize and make a reality. And I'm going to hand over now my my floor to my colleague Samantha, who joined us about a year ago. And Samantha has been, oh no, I'm sorry, not Samantha. I'm going to ask Jason to join us in a minute. But let me say a couple of words about Samantha. Samantha has been phenomenal in helping us really respond to the needs of the workforce pipeline in a manner that is compliant with Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act. And we are really proud of the fact that she's been able to hear and listen to what we've been able to say, and then take it back to our tech team at Yolobi and provide us, with the product that we are looking to get. Jason has been the face of DCMKE, and we couldn't possibly have done this without him. So I'm going to hand over to him in a minute. But I also want to give big kudos to the Yolobi team. Mr. Khan is on the call right now. He's one of the lead tech team members of Yolobi, and of course we couldn't do it without our champion David. It's been a wonderful experience working together, being able to accept each other's feedback, and being able to be humble enough to see that we need to remain compliant with workforce regulations, but also create a platform that allows for that one-stop spot where things are convenient for the low-income people that we serve. So I'm happy to hand over to Jason now.
Thank you, Bernadette. So this is just a quick preview of what you can expect in the second quarter, which we're in right now for DirectConnectMKE. There's going to be forthcoming a complete redesign of the network as well as the employer admin console to cause it to align with where we are with DirectConnectMKE.com, which presently is available for job seekers. And you can also look forward to a couple of marketing campaigns, one of which is going to be highly targeted, and that's the goal there is to really drive more job seekers to sign up onto DirectConnectMKE and also to join your networks. And as well, we're working on some initiatives to try to increase and bring on more employers onto the platform. So as Bernadette had alluded to, we were so excited that we have to date been able to bring on 2 employers. And so we are looking to increase that number as we continue in the quarter. One of the other things that we're very proud of is just the growth that we've seen in terms of our networks. So at the beginning of this quarter, we were at 50 networks, and now we're at 55. That's a 10% increase. So we're really excited about that. And of course, one of the 5 new networks includes Harley-Davidson, one of our employer networks. So we're really excited about that. They've been posted an opportunity recently. And we've also seen some significant growth in terms of our membership. So we've finally surpassed 1,100 members on DirectConnectMKE. And out of that 1,100 members, approximately 800 of those are people that we would consider job seekers. And then we've got roughly 140 administrators like yourselves. And then the balance of that is what we call our promoters. And our promoters are very similar to our administrators. It's just that they don't necessarily post opportunities or manage networks. But they help us with trying to increase and bring people onto the platform. And so in this slide here, you'll notice that we've highlighted 7 networks that are brand new. 2 of these networks where they joined right before the beginning of Q1. And so because they joined right before the beginning of Q1, we wanted to include them in the overall scope to just really demonstrate the growth that we've experienced on the platform. We also want to give credit where it's due. And we had an opportunity to be able to sit down with a handful of our administrators and do what we call our customer discovery sessions. And so we wanted to just acknowledge individuals who were gracious enough to sit down with our team and just open up about just the ins and outs of their day-to-day experience and just the challenges as well as the rewarding aspects of their particular roles. And that feedback was extremely critical for our development team to be able to go back and enhance the product so that everybody has an optimal experience. So we wanted to recognize James DeMint from the Center for Urban Teaching, Gwendolyn Luckett from America Works, Michael Waite from the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Milwaukee, Andre Brown from Project Return, Brooks Griffin, who formerly is with Safe and Sound and recently transitioned to the Milwaukee Bucks, Gwendolyn Long from Milwaukee Public Library, Leslie Love from WCS, and Kara Fitzgerald from WRTP. Thank you so much for being gracious with your time and sitting down with our team. And in addition to that, we also noticed some significant administrator activity in this last quarter. A lot of posting going on, so we're very excited about that. I want to say thank you to Aisha Hendry from DER, as well as Jarrell Sellers from SDC, again, Kara Fitzgerald from WRTP, Carrie Diener from Plymouth, Milwaukee, James DeMint again from Center for Urban Teaching, Amina Webb from West Care, and Steve Lead from Community Warehouse, otherwise known as the Partners in Hope. Thank you so much for posting and for managing your networks well. Again, this is part of what really makes this platform thrive and succeed. The other aspect that we want to really highlight is we have some brand new what we call digital marketing materials that are available for you. So please feel free to reach out to us. We've got these brand new designs, as you can see in this slide here. And this helps you as you're interacting with the individuals that you serve in the community. So as individuals are coming to your organizations and enlisting in your programs and signing up to receive your services, these graphics here really allow you an opportunity to facilitate the enrollment onto your particular Direct Connect Milwaukee network. So again, just reach out to us if you're interested in receiving these new digital marketing materials. Also, we want to let you know that with the capacity that the platform has to refer job seekers and members in your networks to other administrators, you can expect to see notifications in your email that you've had a particular job seeker referred to you. And it also sends a notification to the job seeker that they've been referred to an administrator. And then the other thing we also just want to remind everybody about is in terms of just content that you post onto your networks, you can post more than just jobs. Because sometimes I think administrators are thinking in terms of, hey, I can only post jobs on my platform. And sometimes the question comes up, for example, like in our training sessions or in our informal site visits, is it just employment opportunities that we're posting? Well, we definitely want you to post employment opportunities, but any and everything that could be a benefit to a job seeker, whether it's an event, whether it's an opportunity to, say, apply for a scholarship or any kind of a service that's indirectly related to employment and or again, that would benefit the individual. And it can be opportunities that are from within your network, from within your organization, pardon me. And even if you know about other opportunities happening locally, please feel free to share those in the platform and to post that on your networks. And then also, upon request, if you'd like to have access to our integration feature, you can reach out to us as well. And that allows you to draw from ZipRecruiter. And I believe that very soon there's going to be other sources for third-party integration. But right now, you can get access to be able to pull from ZipRecruiter and to repost opportunities that are already posted to just increase the amount of opportunities that you're sharing on your networks. So this slide here just is a breakdown and an overview of, again, just summarizing how you can best use your administrator console. So we have it broken down. You have the first part, which is the outreach, intake, and enrollment. And I've alluded to this a little bit previously, but again, this is that stage where you're bringing new people into your program, into your services. Again, as you're interacting with people that are coming in and signing up to receive your services, you have an opportunity to introduce them to Direct Connect Milwaukee. And we really encourage you to do that, to find a creative way to integrate Direct Connect Milwaukee recruitment into your general intake processes. And then there's the second part of the process here. And this is really working on how you can engage people once they're already in your networks. And so we're going to talk about that in the next couple of slides about using the grouping feature, the referral feature, and related. And then the final aspect is really relates to how you can continue to track with individuals once they've completed your program or gotten into job placement, and how you can continue to develop and maintain that interaction through our platform. So just to expound a little bit on the first part of the process here with the outreach aspect. So your network page is really, again, a way to market your program, market your organization. And so we really encourage you to go back and revisit your network page and just refresh it. Take a look at what you have posted in terms of your cover image and your logo. We really just encourage you to market it in such a way that you would draw job seekers who are looking for the services that you provide. And so the way that it's set up, you can indicate through different hashtags the services that you provide, the programs that you offer, and if there's a particular industry sector that your organization is related to, you can have that advertised as well. So we really encourage people to take advantage of just designing and making sure that your network page really draws the attention of individuals that you're trying to reach in the community. And again, just to reiterate, we do have the option inside the platform for you to make referrals. The idea with the DirectConnectMKE platform is that individuals that are receiving services directly from your organization, they begin that initial connection with you, joining your network, but the idea is that it grows from there, so that as you build that relationship of trust and perhaps discover that there's other needs and interests that maybe other organizations and networks inside the Alliance might specialize in, there's a real opportunity for you to be able to expand that individual's network and to help to grow their social capital, which is a major aspect of the goal of DirectConnectMKE. And so, again, this here is just talking about some more of the features here that are related to managing the network well and managing your members. If you would like to have any kind of data exports from the standpoint of just the particular data that you can track when individuals join your network and as you're interacting with the members in your network, you can feel free again to reach out to our team and we can arrange for you to receive data exports. There's also a way for you to directly message and interact with your new members. So for example, when you take a look at your list of new members, there's an option in there for you to send them a connection request, but there's also an option for you to send them a message. So sometimes what can happen is you can send a connection request to an individual, and for whatever reason, there could be a delay in the individual responding to your connection request. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to just send them a very brief message, just indicating, hello, welcome to our network. These are the particular resources and services that we provide. How can we be of assistance? It would be nice to be able to send them that little brief message and then send your connection request. And that's available right now. That's a feature that you can take advantage of. Again, it's part of managing and interacting with members as they join your platform, pardon me, not your platform, but as they join your particular network in the Alliance. And so this slide here really just reiterates that aspect and gives you a visual of not just the managing the members from the standpoint of sending a connection request or just a brief welcome message, but we also have an admin referral button. So we have a way for you to automatically press a button and it pulls down a drop-down menu that gives you a list of various administrators and networks on the Alliance, and you can choose which particular administrators to refer your job seekers to. And so when individuals create their profile, they're going to add their career interests and what have you, and they're going to add just different aspects, say like their work experience and what have you. As an administrator, you can get a quick glance at what an individual's career interests are, what kind of employment opportunities or services they're looking for. That gives you kind of an idea. Also, if they respond to your message or your connection request, and as you engage and again build that relationship of trust, it gives you an idea of which other mentors, or pardon me, which other administrators and networks on the Alliance it would be appropriate to send them to. And so there's also this really cool feature called the groups feature. And so let's say, for example, your particular organization may have about 4 or 5 different areas of focus that you focus on in terms of just, maybe you have a computer lab and you focus on developing computer skills. And maybe another area of your organization is getting people ready for earning their high school diploma. And another organization might be working specifically with direct placement. You can create cohorts and groups. So let's suppose you have like about 100 members, and you know that all 100 people are not there for the same reason. You can create cohorts and groups based on the particular concentrations of services people are looking for. And the way it's designed is, as you post new opportunities, whatever opportunities are appropriate for that group, you can assign those opportunities for that group. And then as you bring on new members, you can assign new members into those groups so that you're sending these targeted opportunities to specific cohorts and groups. It's actually one of my favorite features on the platform. And again, just another word about the referral feature. This is another way, again, to expand the network and the interconnections for the individuals that are receiving services from your organization. So that concludes my summary of the particular aspects of managing your networks and what have you. I would like to turn over the next part of our presentation to Samantha, Scott, and David Douglas to talk about some product upgrades that you can expect as we continue in Q2.
Yeah, I'm going to go through the rest of these slides. I just, like Jason very greatly explained all of the stuff that we're doing in the council, and I think that I don't need to touch like more about that grouping feature since he did a great job on it, but I did, after we send these slides, I would love to essentially just let you guys know that you can actually access all of this stuff in terms of how you can actually group features. So, and where you can do that. So you can access that in the Manage Members page, and you can select Create a Group. And then what happens is that, as you can see right here, you'll start to get tags on your members. And then when you want to post specifically, you know, these can be anything from updates to communication. Now that we have an app, they'll be getting post notifications. They could be something for a cohort. Anything of that sort is what we would consider stuff for you guys to try out and test. And so when we send this deck, if you need any support on how to do that, you can refer to this slide. And this slide also can explain what Jason was mentioning about the referral process. And so this is a page where you can access and learn how to do that. It's a great way, as Jason mentioned, you know, how can we ensure that they are connected to additional organizations for supportive services they may need. Another recommendation is to actually connect with a lot of these admins running the other 55 networks. So you understand who they are, who you may want to make that actual referral to. And so far, Jason's already made, you know, 130 plus referrals through the platform. So if you've received one, great, and be on the lookout for that email notification, because I'm sure people are going to start to join your network. And so that's great to see. And additionally, this slide here will give you an idea of what happens when those referrals are being made. You'll likely receive an email notification if you signed up that way, or if you signed up through Veronica, it'll come to your text. But however, you'll also be able to get that notification in your inbox, your network inbox, and then you can see exactly, you know, who that person or individual is, and you can connect and message them. And you can also see, you know, Jason's likely to refer them to your network. So as people join your network, it could potentially be from this referral process. And so you can always kind of refer to this slide in terms of what you can expect there. I just want to make sure everyone can hear me.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. The next part, as we go into part 2, in terms of what you can do to help with job placement and also how you can help to increase the number of opportunities in your network. We do have obviously that employer partner feature. So if you work with an employer or a partner who you know has opportunities to post, all you'll have to do is send a link with your network, and they can register in a couple minutes, and they'll have access to the opportunity builder. That's all they'll really have access to. So they don't get access to your member management piece. It's more so that they can post whatever they have inside your network, and then and get that kind of going. And then Jason already mentioned the third-party integration feature. Currently, it's with ZipRecruiter, and that aligns with your users' interests and hashtags, and also opportunities. So you can either repost or edit and repost if you want to add an image to that. And as you refer back to this deck, please email myself, because these are something that I will need to approve and you of. It's free at this moment, so there's no harm in testing it out or using it if you're interested in learning how to increase those number of opportunities in your network. And then, this last part is, how can you improve those job retention numbers? How can you ensure that you're following up with your job seekers or anyone who joins your network? What we've done to kind of work in that space for workforce agencies and nonprofits is to really make sure that they download this new app, because they'll be getting push notifications. So, even if they change their phone number or their email, this is a great way to ensure that they're getting your messages if they continue to download and use this app. Additionally to notifications, what we didn't have before was a notification on messages. So now whenever someone gets a message from you, you'll see it on your phone. You'll be able to immediately respond. Another part of this new registration on DirectConnectMKE is we are collecting additional contact information. And as you work with us, as we move forward with the next part of the redesign, which is your council, you'll have kind of a say in other intake information you may want to receive. And I know a lot of organizations do need certain types of information. Currently in the Vault feature, we use that, but we're integrating it a bit differently so that it'll be an easier process for you to collect that information. And as Jason mentioned, it is helpful. I know from our discovery conversations, a lot of people use CSV, or they have something where they manage their data. So if you would like, in addition to the council, to receive that data, the phone number, email data especially, you can always email me to set that up. And Bernadette, let me know when we're switching presenters here, but I wanted to explain this page. As you know, DirectConnectMKE is live. The next part coming to this new design is the admin council. But shortly, you'll actually be able to go straight, to DirectConnectMKE to manage and post opportunities. But the platform is available for other features if you wanted to use our new messenger, if you wanted to use our search, our feed, edit the new profile experience. All of that is in DirectConnectMKE, and it's your same login and password. And then starting next week, you'll be able to access everything through that council. And then additionally, this quarter, we are redesigning your council to match that same look and feel. So it'll all be in DirectConnectMKE, but you all obviously still will always have access to your current version of the opportunity builder and what you're doing in the council.
Sam, thank you so much for your presentation. If we could just go back to the previous slide, please, for a second. Samantha has, yes, thank you. Samantha has mentioned that you will be able to access your admin console right on DirectConnectMKE. That might be a little bit confusing. Can we go to slide 16, please? Slide 16.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yes, yeah, there. And so what that really means is that we are actually right now in the process of migrating from the old platform to the new one. So if there might be a little bit of confusion, we want to clarify that we will have your admin console available in the new profile under DirectConnectMKE.com, and the old legacy platform, which is DCMKE.yolobi.com, will be retired eventually, so that we are able to, all work in this one space. And that's in compliance with the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act regulations on American Job Centers. So that allows us to align our practices to what's happening on the ground. So that is particularly crucial for all of you to know. We will give you an opportunity to ask questions at the end of the presentation that we are conducting right now. But I want to thank Samantha for providing us this insight. And I'm now going to welcome David. David, if David is available to do the next set of slides.
Cool.
Yeah, and David, just let me know when you want to head to the next slide,
Yep.
and I'll just keep sharing the screen.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, go ahead to the next slide. Perfect. Anyway, happy Friday, everybody. It's always good to see you all. I wish it were more in person. I remember back in the days when we were doing all of this in person, and it was just I can't wait for those times to happen again. Yeah, we've been super busy. At the end of the day, why are we doing all of this? We're trying to help people connect with opportunity. And as a company and working with the city, we wanted to really upgrade everything that we've been doing. And so, as you can see, we're doing just that. And hopefully, you're getting that sense. But like, this should be very reminiscent of what you would see on Facebook. It's using actually some of the exact same technology, if not the exact same technology that you're finding on the key social media platforms today. And we've done that for a reason. The reason is everyone is familiar with, feeds. People are familiar with the patterns that you use in social media, like having profiles, being able to connect to people. Now, the key distinction that I want to make sure that everyone calls out here, the key distinction between this and everything else is this idea of these networks that they're joining for you, which is on the left-hand side of the screen. Our goal, as Direct Connect, is for individuals to connect to your networks. And we've been purposeful. I think we said this earlier on. We've been purposeful using the name network because we want people to expand their networks. So we want them to join your platform, similar to like if they were following you on an Instagram, right? But in so doing, their feed then becomes rich with opportunities, rich with with interactions, rich with all sorts of cool things that they can do, simply because they've been able to connect to your network. Now, Direct Connect brings a lot to bear on this. Direct Connect is bringing, large-scale employers like Harley-Davidson. We intend to bring on a lot more employers as well. And so, by being a member of this platform and being a part of the Alliance of Direct Connect, you, of course, all the people who join gain access to all of those employers, as well as all of the wonderful other things that we're posting in terms of resources, which I'll show you. But just briefly here, another thing I'll mention. This is just the web-based view. So these are people who potentially are might not have a smartphone. We've made this platform accessible across the board for everyone, all right? And we had to, because people have different forms of accessibility around technology. Some of them have smartphones, some don't. And so we've had to be cognizant of that. And so everything that you see here is available not only here on the web via computer, but if they were actually on their phone, this would render mobily, and they would have a similar view here as well. And certainly, if they were so inclined, they could download the app, which we, to the extent that people have smartphones and are willing to use those and are willing to engage with platforms like Instagram and Facebook and those, we would encourage you to ask them to download the app. And they're going to have a very similar experience and look and feel to what they've seen here. So we're really proud of this. We're proud of all the work that we did in talking with users and in working with, obviously, our partners at the city to build something that's absolutely meaningful. And so here's your home screen feed. It's very similar to what you'd find in any other social platform, with the networks on the left-hand side, all of the opportunities, which would include resources as well. but events, job opportunities, all of those are being then, and those are algorithmically served based upon the profile of the person. So we would encourage you, as part of an onboarding process, in fact, we encourage in general that that you ask your clients, your members, to create profiles and to join your network on this platform. And by virtue of doing that, they actually become members of DirectConnect Milwaukee as well. And then they have access to all of the resources in that feed. And those feed is algorithmically served based upon the types of interests that they have. And we will be on an ongoing basis looking to build an algorithm that serves up the right things at the right time. So to the extent that this person is more inclined to be actively searching for various types of training because they're looking to get involved in, interesting programs based upon their skill sets, then we would like to surface those types of things first and foremost to them. All right. And the feed also is you'll notice here, it's a little hard to see, but as things become more of a match, you'll notice that they get a check mark here. So it's quite transparent to the person as to why they're seeing a particular item. And then, of course, on the right-hand side, all of the different notifications you can see as well. Again, very, very much reminiscent of what you would find in any type of social media platform. We think that this really is sort of, for the purposes of what we're doing, a much better experience in helping people find opportunities. And so on the right-hand side, you're going to get notified, and they're going to get notified for connection requests. If they have the app, they'll get notifications on their app that says that you are seeking to connect with them. If you shared something with them, they will see that as well through the share mechanism. If you can move over to the next page.
Yep.
Perfect. I just wanted to call out here that we are encouraging people to join and participate in other networks. And so as part of this, we have a Discover feature, again, very similar to what you'd find in like an Instagram or any of these other, except instead of trying to highlight the newest and latest, rock, The Rock or Kim Kardashian, here you're going to find networks which are close to you or are served up to you based upon your participation in DirectConnect Milwaukee. So that's the beautiful thing about this, is as we start to market this thing more broadly as an entity, DirectConnect, you being members of this will surface here on this. So you can either onboard people directly on your network, or we are going to be exposing you as part of this as well. And so as they go here, they'll be connected to DirectConnect. They'll be searching for, and they can join additional ones. And so we would encourage you to make sure that all of the information about your network is up to date. And we'll show you a screen about that in a little bit. But it's a nice feature. We're just going to get better and better at this. And as we add more networks, community-based organizations will be part of this. This helps break the silo that we've seen in many cities, and it's also obviously one that exists in Milwaukee. We believe that this type of solution and approach will help us try to break down a lot more of these different silos and get people participating and joining and being part of a broader community, all geared to try to drive them more opportunity and make and put them on a path to having economic security. Next screen, please. This is just, if they were to click on an opportunity in their feed, they're going to get more information in there. And so clearly, if this were an event, they could show that they're interested. If this happened to be a place for them to apply for a job, we can send them to a third party. We also try to surface relevant additional opportunities as part of this as well. So again, constantly trying to feed information to them so that they become more self-serving and are exploring those opportunities themselves. So if you move to the next page as well. Cool. This is unique, and this is relatively new, but we are also including as part of this the ability to surface supportive services or resources, if you will. And so in this case, DirectConnect has, I believe, several hundred different resources available. And this could be community-based organizations. As you can see here on the right-hand side, there's also the Youth and Family Center. So the intention here is, oftentimes, as part of the intake or as part of our engagement with somebody, we may be providing them with supportive services. So like here's Here's some legal services that you might need. Here's some childcare services local to that you may need. And traditionally, we've been probably handing out, pamphlets, or we maybe direct them to websites. So the intention here is that we can actually share these directly with them. They can save them, they can go back to them, and so on. So we're looking forward to increased usage of the Resource Hub and providing these to people. And these can be surfaced as well during an actual search. So people who are looking for these types of services, we'll find them on the platform. Again, makes it really easy for them to find things, makes it easy for you to share things where you might traditionally have been printing some of these things off before. So we're really excited about that. And then you can move over to the next page.
Yeah. In addition to that, I wrote here, your network page, you're also able to upload any type of resources you want. Let's say, when your job seekers come in, you hand them something, each person something. You can customize what you see under resources here, and you can direct people to your page to actually share or access these opportunities. And we'll be adding a map view as well. And additionally, the filters are also customized. So if you want something like this on your page, all you need to do is send me an Excel sheet and I can upload that for your network. Additionally, these resources also can show up in the user feed, the general user feed. And when they filter for resources, they can show up there as well.
Cool. So I'll just go through the rest of this real quickly. So this is your page. Have with it as you will. It would include your logo. You can update it directly through the console itself, the profile settings. This is the information they'd see. So if they were exploring your page, for instance, you'd want to include information that would encourage them to join. So who is it for? What services do we provide? And so on and so forth. And then as she mentioned earlier, if you have resources that you want to make available to them, there's a simple way for you to do that as well. And then you'll notice on the right-hand side, these are the administrators. And so you become clickable here. People can look that they want to connect with you. So if they wanted to connect with Casey, they can click on her name. We're encouraging people to connect with the administrators, the career specialists, the job specialists who are part of these networks, such that they actually increase their social capital, which, as Bernadette knows, has been our goal all along. How do we drive more social capital in terms of connecting to great people and great mentors, such that such that people take advantage of it. And this is one way that we sort of persist this information to them.
In addition to that, too, when you're seeing these tags, all of this stuff you can edit in your current network settings page. So if you don't have a logo up, I recommend adding that, especially as people are finding your network. And you can actually help kind of describe what your organization offers in these areas over here. Yeah.
Cool. 2 more slides and I'm done, I promise everybody. I do want to mention the search. So the search follows similar patterns to the social media that you're familiar with today. It uses Omni search. So when you conduct a search, which would be done at the top here, and again, that's something that can be done on the web, via your computer or via the app as a user. When they search for things, they're going to get information feeding back in the form of what are opportunities related to manufacturing, who are the networks that have resources and or people or have services related to manufacturing, and then what are some people that we would like to highlight to you that are either interested in or have some expertise related to manufacturing. So that Omni search pattern is something that we are using here. We're really excited about it, and again, it's very reminiscent of the current way that people are doing it on their social media platforms today. And then finally, the last slide.
Yeah, and then by the way, if you guys want to show up on your network, just make sure you add those tags I mentioned. Cool.
Yeah, and the last thing I'd want to say is, for those of you who are familiar with Instagram, we'll just call this one out. If you are on Instagram and you see something that you like and you want to share it with somebody, you use the share function and you send it to them, and it winds up in their inbox. Similar pattern here. So as you find resources, opportunities, jobs, and you want to make them available to someone, say, hey, hey, Bill, I want you to check this thing out. You can send it that way. And then they receive a notification that derives them directly into their inbox, similar to the way that, in fact, exactly the same way that it happens today in Instagram. And so the likelihood that that person will see that and will act upon it is higher than if they were just perusing the actual feed themselves. So again, familiar patterns to what people have today. We're really excited about this new capability, and we would encourage everybody to use the share functionality. It's on the bottom of every single opportunity. There is a little share box. You click on it, and then you type in the name of the person you're sending it to, and off it goes. And then I guess, one more last one. So we're really excited about this. Everyone has a profile. The goal, of course, is to have people fill out their profiles. To the extent that today you're asking people to do things like create an online profile in LinkedIn, we would encourage you to do a similar thing, if not just completely use this. It's easier to use than you would have in some of those other platforms today. It includes all of the types of stuff that's required or needed if we were an employer taking a look at this. And it also helps you to vet some of the, during the intake, some of the things that a person actually might be interested in or be capable of or want to pursue as part of their career path. So what experience do they have? What education do they have? Any awards or recognition they have. And so this would even be used for youth as well, who may not have a tremendously extensive resume, but they've done interesting things in the past, that they could surface here as part of recognition or awards or babysitting, for that matter. Things that really that should be persisted as part of their resume. So we would look at career coaches to be able to engage with their members at this level, to review it together, and then in so doing, identify different interests and opportunity areas that they could have. And by doing those types of things, their feed then becomes enriched with those types of opportunities and interests because of the way that they've currently filled this out.
If I may just add, David, I really like what you have just said with regard to this slide. And for those who are listening that are career specialists, this particular feature, in exactly the way David described it, is actually a way of creating an individualized employment plan for your job seeker. So you can literally use the information that the job seeker has provided to populate your IEP so that together you can work on placement goals for that particular person. Thanks. Awesome.
So I think that's the last slide. I'm sorry. There's just so much going on here. Basically to tell you that this is all available via the app and the web. And so the two renderings that you see here on the far right-hand side is the actual app itself. And then if you were to be doing this over the phone and you had not downloaded the app, you still have a very similar experience. So again, really exciting, good stuff. This look and feel, we are going to be bringing it to the administrators. So your look and feel of it will be similar to this as we move forward. We'll be doing it iteratively, so we'll be releasing, as we have done before, every 2 weeks, every month, new sets of features. And our engagement methodology, and one of the reasons why we're so happy that a lot of you talked to us early on, is to actually engage with you, talk to you, determine what it is that you're actually using and liking, and then we incorporate that feedback into what do we need to be building next, because our goal is to make sure that not only is this cool, it looks good, the members like it, but at the end of the day, and Bernadette and I have been saying this since the beginning, we really want this to be something that you use because it actually makes your job easier. And so that's the pursuit that we're looking to continue to do. How do we make this so that your jobs, which are already incredibly difficult, easier to connect with people, easier to find things for them, easier for them to find things and for you to engage with them. Those are the types of things that we're really actively trying to pursue, all in the goal of really trying to make sure we map back to the WIOA-based objectives, and that to us is success. So I think that's all I have to add at this point, and I'll turn it back over to Bernadette and Jason.
And one last comment here, guys, is we actually prioritized, as you're aware, the mobile functionality. So we started with the mobile app and mobile web because We do know that some people don't have access to personal computers, and we want to make sure that everyone has access to this platform. They can do all of the things that they can do on the desktop web version here. They can update their profile, they can find and apply to jobs, they can get notifications. So if someone doesn't have space on or have a smartphone, they still can access this exact same experience through mobile web. And so was a huge priority for us to make sure that everyone has access to all of this stuff. So thanks. Thank you guys for listening to me and David.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Samantha and David. I'm going to hand over back to Jason.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So to wrap up here, and again, thank you again, David and Samantha, for expounding on the details of what we can expect in terms of product upgrades. We do want to eventually open up an opportunity for feedback from administrators, just to share your experiences, challenges, even successes with managing your platforms. And before we do that, we are going to ask everyone to please take a survey. Samantha's going to provide the link for that in the chat. But one of our agenda items before we get to that is I'd like to open up the space just briefly if anybody has any events coming up, or if there's anything in this past quarter that your organization has been a part of that's been really impactful in the community that you're really proud of. And if you'd like to take just a minute to share something, we just want to open up the space for about maybe the next 5-10 minutes for anyone to go ahead and share. And then we'll get to the survey and then also open up for Q&A and feedback.
Okay, so I have this link that I'm going to share in the chat. Jason, did you say you wanted them to take the survey first?
Well, just, I wanted to, before taking the survey, if there's anybody in our group here, again, if you've got any events that you were recently involved in that you're really proud of in this last quarter, something that your organization had an opportunity to do that was really meaningful and impactful in the community, we just wanted to open up this next 5-10 minutes for someone just to share, or if you have something coming up that you'd like us all to know about, this would be a good opportunity to go ahead and share with us. Mm-hmm. And if not, that's okay too. We can get to, you could go ahead and conduct the survey for the next like 10 minutes or so, and then after everyone's finished taking the survey, then we'd like to open it up for questions, comments, concerns, that dynamic. So
I would suggest we go ahead and take the survey while we master the courage to say something.
Yes, please feel free to click on the link and fill out the survey. We'll give you about 10 minutes to do so.
Yeah, please feel free to say something. There are no right or wrong answers, but we'll give you the next 10 minutes or so to fill out that survey, please. Thank you.
We want to just thank you again for taking time out of your schedule to meet with us. And it's really just been an honor to reconnect with everybody and to really just, again, be able to provide you with updates on the direction that DirectConnectMKE is taking. The work that you're doing as administrators is very critical. So keep up the good work. We're very grateful. Thank you for taking time to fill out the survey. We'll take a look at your survey responses, and feel free to reach out to us with any questions, any concerns, anything that you can think of. We will meet again for another quarterly meeting. Tentatively, we're thinking at the end of June, so be June 25th, but we'll be in touch with you shortly to nail down the specifics of when that date will be. And in the meantime, please keep doing the awesome work that you're doing in your organizations, keep doing the awesome work that you're doing managing your networks, and keep doing the amazing work that you're doing in the city of Milwaukee. And with that, we are going to, yes, we will be able to send out copies of the PowerPoint and any other resources or materials. So let us know how we can support you in that manner. We'll definitely provide you with PowerPoint and related materials that will provide just a summary and recap of what we discussed today. So Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, everybody. And is there any questions, burning questions at all? Well, thank you so very much. We appreciate you sitting with us through the 1.5 hours of the presentation. Please feel free to reach out to us with any feedback that you may have. David, any closing remarks?
No, thanks everybody. Have a great